Okay, so I just received yesterday my CGC returns from both of my first two submissions in the same package. Somehow, even though I sent one of my submissions standard and one of them express, they came back at the same time, so I am very pleased about that. And I'm super happy with the grades overall. I've already looked at them. I opened them with my brother yesterday. I was really excited, didn't want to wait to do it for the video. So now I'm just gonna walk through all the cards. Here we have my Alakazam. Got an 8.5 overall. Subgrades 9, 8.5, 8.5, 9.5. When I was looking at this, I expected it to do a little bit better than this, but now in hindsight, as I'm looking at it in the slab, like you can see there in the light, there are some definite horizontal scratches going on in that hollow. And if you look at the back, especially like that corner, top right, there are some definite corner issues going on with this as well. Some of that stuff I did not pick up on when I sent it. So getting an 8.5 on the surface and corners makes sense to me for this. Overall, I'm pretty happy about that. I had a PSA 8, so now having an 8.5 CGC I think it's a bit of an upgrade. Here we have Clefairy, got a 9. 9 centering, 9 surface, 9 corners, 9.5 edges. So a pretty solid 9. I guess you could say it's like in the upper half, maybe, because it's, if 4 9s is sort of like the midpoint, having 3 9s and a 9.5, I imagine, is like a bit of a strong 9. Again, I can see some light scratches in the hollow. I love the clarity on these slabs because it makes it really easy to see the flaws on the card. Like you can see all of those vertical light scratches. I understand why the surface got docked for that. Even if you look at the back and you see like, oh wow, that's a really strong back, which it is. I agree with giving this a 9 on the surface for sure. And I think a 9 overall, I'm pretty happy about that. CGC definitely seems to be a little bit tougher than PSA. Except for on centering. There's some pretty off-center cards I have that they don't seem to want to go lower than like an 8 or 8.5 on centering, which is interesting. Then my Gyarados got a 9. 9.5 centering, 9 surface, 9 corners, 9.5 edges. Now this I am pretty happy about because this is a really strong 9. This is like as strong as a 9 can get without becoming a 9.5 overall. Because you've got, if surface or corners was a 9.5, this would be a 9.5 overall, which is pretty incredible. So this is a very strong copy. And I had very high hopes for this when I sent it. It's really well centered. There's not much silvering. The back is pretty free of whitening, edge wear. That corner's got a little bit of stuff down there in the bottom left. But you will see this is a bit of a recurring theme in this submission for me. I had a lot of 9s on these base hollows get really close to 9.5 without getting a 9.5. This is not one of them. This Mewtwo got an 8.5. 9.5 centering, so really good centering. Then 8.5 surface corners and a 9 edges. And I knew when I sent this that this was one of my weaker, quote-unquote weaker hollows. It's just kind of an extra I had. Like you can see that corner's got somewhere up there. Yeah, somewhere down there. Like it's not perfect. I have a PSA 10 copy of this card, so I'm probably going to put this one up on eBay. I still think it's a really solid card for an 8.5, which is surprising. Like, when I hear 8.5, I don't think of cards that look this good. I think of cards, maybe I'm biased because I've seen some pretty shoddy PSA 8s, but I'm realizing now that like with as strict as CGC seems to be, some of their 8.5s look really, really good on this older stuff. Obviously, it is a case-by-case scenario and it's all subjective. My Nidoking here got a 9. How did that compare to the Mewtwo, I wonder, on the subgrades? Okay. But yeah, 9 centering, 8-5 surface, 9 corners, 9-5 edges. This one I knew had really good corners and edges. Surface, I'm sure there's something, yeah, you can see some horizontal scratches down in that area. Can I bring that closer? Maybe not. And down there as well. Centering top to bottom is off, but the back, and this is something I kind of, it's easy to spot when you have a really clean back, and I really enjoy and appreciate a really clean back. That corner's got a little bit of a white dot there, but like that's a really, is that in the case? No. That's a really solid card. Just off center top to bottom. Other than that, you know, a few light hollow scratches, it's a really good looking 9. And I'm happy to have it because I don't have a PSA graded Nidoking. Okay, going back to that Gyarados, here's a Raichu with the exact same subgrades. At least I think it was the exact same. Am I right about that? Yeah, 9.5, 9, 9, 9.5, 9 overall. So another WotC Hollow, only 0.5 away from being a 9.5 overall. So this is a bloody strong 9. It is gorgeous. You can see, again, like there's a light scratch there. There's maybe a few light scratches like down there or in there, but it's kind of hard to see. It seems like it blends into the texture of the hollow sometimes. It can be hard to tell what's actually a scratch and what's not. But beautiful card. Again, really solid back. A little bit of corner whitening. When these came, they came packaged pretty dusty. Some dust, some cardboard debris. I've tried wiping them off a little bit. I should probably still grab a cloth later and grab some of the little bits that are still stuck to the slabs. And again, Zapdos here. Same exact subgrades for the third time. 9.5, 9.9, 9.5. So surface and corners keep getting dinged, but man, again, to have like a base unlimited hollow and it's 0.5 off of 9.5. It's a bit of a tease, but it's also really satisfying to know that my 9 is like as strong as a 9 can be without being a 9.5. Like this is a really solid card. And really just like to the point of the subgrades, this is part of why I like CGC so much with these subgrades, and really just the idea of subgrades, I know Beckett does them too, is like you could look at a 9, a PSA 9 with no subgrades, and you know we all know that there's strong 9s and weak 9s. Boom, 9.5. I'll talk about this in a second. But what I was saying, having these subgrades is really just a more accurate representation of the grade of the card. Like say, like this Snorlax is phenomenal. It got a 9.5 overall, and I'm absolutely thrilled about it. I mean, it's a no-symbol jungle Snorlax. We all know jungle is incredibly hard to grade, right? And I think I remarked in my video when I sent these off that like this is just like stellar on the back. It looks like a modern back. Look at that thing, right? But say that I graded this with PSA and it got a 9. There are PSA 9s that look way worse than this, and to the untrained eye, you'll never know the difference. Having these subgrades, you can see, like, oh yeah, here's how it measures up in every single respect. Like, we look at this Zapdos, it's off by 0.5 on the corners, and that's the only thing separating it from the Snorlax 9.5. And, you know, being able to see that reflected in the subgrades gives you just a better idea of the spectrum of weak 9 to strong 9. I think is a better, like I said, it's a more accurate representation of the card, and I think it makes it easier to collect. Like if I was going to go for base unlimited CGC 9s, I would want to go for ones like this that are only 0.5 away from a 9.5. And I bet a lot of people would prefer that as well. The fourth one that is only 0.5 away, We've got 9.5 centering, 9 surface, 9.5 corners, 9 edges on this Dark Blastoise Unlimited from Team Rocket. Oh my gosh, this artwork is iconic. That pose. Oh, he's coming. Just a beautiful card. Another card with a really strong back. And I know that there's some light scratching on the holo. I probably pointed that out in my first video when I sent this off. But again, like it is simultaneously a tease. You got that swirl on the top left. It's a tease to know